Hello and welcome everybody to today's Thursday Live. I am Denise Armenio and I am going to be going over with everybody today how to use your Genius app alongside your NeuroVIZR. And I will show everybody in just a minute what that looks like. I have Claire McIntyre with me, who is going to be our volunteer today. So thank you so much, Claire, for being here. It's a pleasure, as always. And we still have people trickling in here. So I just wanted to welcome everybody again. If you weren't here last month, we are here. It's now the first Thursday of every month. So hopefully you can make it at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and then that's 11 a.m. Pacific. And Claire, help me, UK at 7?
7 p.m. UK.
7 p.m. UK time. So we hope you're all here. If you cannot make it live, you can see it on the replay. So just check that out on in Mighty Networks, I believe, and also on YouTube under my YouTube channel, and as well as inside Health Apps YouTube channel. So without further ado, we are going to begin. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen and sound. Okay, so I have the screen here. I have all of Claire's information. I'm just going to continue with new session here quickly to get it off the screen. Claire, do you want to just do a quick voice for us? In order to do that, we will click, I will click on this little flashing red icon of the microphone. So Claire, I'll count you down. I'll say 3, 2, 1, begin, and then you know what to do. You're going to say the vowels A, E, I, O, U until this 15-second counter gets to 0. You ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, begin.
A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O. Here you go.
Awesome. So when it says excellent that you've done that, now okay, what you've actually heard here, it automatically will begin the voice harmonics. And if you wanted to replay that, you could go down to the bottom left of your screen where it has that little purple button that says voice harmonics. But what that actually does is that is the replaying how the Genius has interpreted your voice recording into a frequency. And that does have health benefits for you, similar to like homeopathics, where like cancels out like. So we do recommend that you do listen to that. That's what it's for. And the only place that you can hear that is from this first screen here. So now I'm going to hit next. And hit continue. Okay, so I'm going to take a new picture of Claire. So I'm just going to go here to the Zoom picture, and I'm going to add that into my, where's my little photo drop here? Oh, photos. And I can click on this image now and use existing photo. And there she is. And I could crop that if I want, if I don't want all that background. I can just take some of that out. And so here, and then you can just hit done and then hit begin session. And again, we can hit continue. Okay, so from here, the genius is going to ask if we want to enter an energetic affirmation. I always like to use this. You don't have to. A lot of people like to use different affirmations every day or a week or a month. So this is a place where you can enter it. Again, the genius will translate that affirmation into a frequency and it will overlay it throughout the session. So I'm just going to click yes. Claire, is there anything specific, or do you want me to just use the one I always use?
You can use yours, thank you.
Okay, so I like to use all energies are transmuted into the frequency of your love. And then I like to add, and so it is. Okay, and then we can just hit okay. And the frequency of that affirmation will be replayed every time we run frequencies within this session. So now the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to hit begin session where it's flashing down at the bottom. Okay, and I'm just going to go quickly down to the bottom and I'm going to go to custom libraries and just run the analysis on those quickly. Okay, now that we have all the information analyzed, I've gone back to the beginning page. And of course, I always like to go to the aura first, just before we get distracted and run frequencies, and then you don't have a really clean before or a picture. So we can go select that now by clicking on this line and hit begin session. Hey, we can talk about this really quickly, but the working with the aura can take you down a rabbit hole. So I'm just going to look at it quickly. Basically, you want to see bright, vibrant colors, colors that look like neon kind of colors. They are going to be the colors of the chakras. So you can look for the meanings of those colors under the chakras. The more light or the brighter the color is really going to resonate with more of the positive aspect to that chakra, and the darker would resonate with more of the negative aspect to that chakra. You're going to see the different layers. And you could also look that up to see what the layers of your aura represent. The more layers you have, the more dimensionality you have. So the more layers, the better. To see one bright, vibrant color would be ideal, but still seeing the different layers. So possibly you may see shading in the color. And this is actually what we're seeing here is the alternating color is actually a good pattern. Although it's more than one color, it is showing that there's integration there. So that is good, this alternating color in there. We are seeing blurriness here, which could relate to stagnant energy. It could also relate to negative energy. We would like to probably see maybe a brighter green or some other kind of color here for the center, but that's what we're here to work on. And then we can also switch to the aura field, which is the same. We're still looking at the aura, but this gives us a little bit more information. This, and here you basically want to see that all four corners are filled with color. That's going to let you know that you're grounded and in your body. And you can see over in the top over here, it's mostly color, but there's slightly, looks like they're slightly pulled away. However, on this side is energy leaving. So we still have some nice green healing energy coming in. It is a little dirty or muted, so hopefully we can work with that a little bit. I am using a MacBook Air, and it is normal to see this kind of like bright spot in the middle. It doesn't mean anything, just to let you know. So anyway, that's quickly the aura. Let's just jump back now to the main screen before we get into looking at the NeuroVIZR a little bit, just to go over what the colors and the numbers represent. The Genius uses a numerical value system. It goes from 1 to 777, and that range is divided into four ranges. The lowest range goes from 1 to 200, and that is represented by the color blue. And items in this range are observed to be chronic energetic disturbances. So those disturbances have been around for a little bit of time. They can also be referred to as stagnant energy and even under energy. These items in this lower range are causing a crisis on the body. So they are also very frequently, these are going to be your underlying causes or root causes to whatever else is going on in your body. So these blue items are really important to work with. Your next range goes from 201 to 450, and that is represented by the color green. From there, we go to 451 to 600, and that is represented by the color yellow. And the high range goes from 601 to 777, and that is represented by the color red. And items in this range are observed to be acute energetic disturbances. They are out of balance today in this present moment. And they can also be referred to as heat or inflammation. Sometimes we may refer to it as over energy. And items in this range are causing a stress on your body in the current moment. So a lot of times I'm then asked, okay, so what's the yellow and the green mean, and what is an okay value? So there isn't any specific one number that you're looking for. Anything for me when I'm working that is outside the range 400 and 600 is what I'm working with to try to bring back into balance. So for me, looking at this chart, the yellow would be like your okay range, and the top of the green. So anything again from between 400 and 600 is considered basically balanced, and anything outside of that we want to bring back into balance. For those of you that are just starting out, I would just work with your reds and blues being out of balance. But if you're more advanced and you want to work with some more line items, you would want to work with your greens as well, except for those that aren't between 400 and 450. So let me just see if I have any questions. How could we interpret this screen? Which screen are you referring to? This main screen here? I'm sorry, I just saw your Um,
Yeah, sorry if you are meaning to Gabriel. I was referring to Aura, the second screen, not the egg one.
okay, yeah, we're
So
not
I
getting,
understand
you're
that
talking about
in
the
the
aura,
not the second one, not this one.
this one?
Yes, this one.
Oh, I'm not going to really get into a big interpretation on this because, like I said before, it really takes you down a rabbit hole. But, again, you want to basically see one bright, vibrant color. Anything that looks muddy or dirty is
Yeah,
indicating
but
that.
you have a purple in the left. So maybe something is coming, maybe an issue, an emotional issue, or something related to
Well,
the
green
second
that's
chakra.
coming in, green that's coming in, it can be, a healthy thing. Again, we're not getting into interpretation of her aura in here. This is more training on how to use the genius and not how to
And
interpret the
I
aura.
have I have another question regarding that screen. For me, it looks a little different on my phone. I have some uh,
Are you using
circles,
an Android?
or yes,
Yeah, it
I
does look a little bit different on the Android, so it would be hard. Um,
I
so
have some circles there. Maybe they refer to something, or I don't know.
Yeah, if you have questions on that for the Android, you might want to go to support. I'm just working with the
Okay,
Apple
thank
right
you.
now on the Apple
Thank you.
devices. Okay. And Karen, you're saying that the audio settings sound different? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Did you
this
hear it when
sounds
it
a
was?
little bit different to me, so I was just wondering what your Zoom settings were.
You mean in the back
Like, is it,
office, what my
yeah, is it
settings are?
musician on or something different today?
I just added the sound. It's probably on the default settings actually right now because there was just the update and I don't think I changed them from the update. If you're talking about going into uh the frequency, yeah, you see everything's on the default here right now.
No,
I
actually, I'm
usually do
talking
put
about
it
the
onto
audio,
archive.
The Zoom itself, because it sounds better today. I
The
don't know what
Zoom,
it
I
is.
just put the sound on for
Okay,
just shared the sound.
interesting. It sounds better today. Okay, I thought you did
So,
something
well,
and you turned
That's
it
another
off.
update as well.
so yeah, I don't know why it looks different when you I would have to, it just says share computers. Oh, it's on mono. Maybe if I put it on stereo, does it sound differently now? Well, we'll see.
Anyway, it just sounds a little bit like better. And I went, geez, it's got better clarity
I don't know.
today.
We'll see if it doesn't sound good now. We should keep it on mono. I don't know.
Okay,
But
thanks.
thanks. Okay, so we've gone over what the numbers and the colors mean. So the first step that I always use when I work with the Genius, and it will never change. It doesn't matter if we're using the NeuroVIZR or not using the NeuroVIZR, is working with the body, with the physical body, making sure that we're getting all the nutrients to the cells and also that our auric field is getting properly primed, basically. So I'm going to go to one of the libraries that I like to use. If you're new and you don't have any libraries, or if you're not new but don't have the specific library panel that I'm going to use, the closest thing I can tell you and recommend is that you can add all of the items from the biofield into the main hold tray, as well as adding vitamins, minerals, and amino acids from the body part. And that will should be your first step. If what I am going to add, and this is just to show you a little bit on how we can work with the libraries. I've already run the analysis on the custom libraries. So I can hit this little black tab in the center. And now in the search, I can just add bioterrain, and you can see this vessel priming frequencies. Now, sometimes sometimes it doesn't work. It's a little picky, but a lot of times you can hover over a line and you can just drag that line and bring it right down, and it will bring the library title into the main hold tray. It's not letting me do that right now, so I just clicked on it, and now I'm just going to add all the red, all the yellow, all the green, and all the blue. And the reason I'm adding all the colors and not just the blue and the green is because when you work with the main hold tray, the main hold tray does something a little bit different. It looks at the relationship of all the items that are in the tray. So it is possible that items that are showing up as, let's say, yellow, which would be the range where I would say, hey, those are pretty balanced. Once you run the analysis in the main hold tray, it's possible that some of the yellow items aren't yellow anymore. And that's just basically because if you look at a frequency and you isolate it by itself, that's how you're looking at it here. But when you look at it in the main hold tray, think of it as kids playing in a sandbox, or even if just people are having a conversation and somebody else joins your conversation, and just the energy of that person may throw the whole conversation off. It's kind of the same thing. So maybe, I don't know, manganese is balanced right now, but when we hit play, and when we go start this, maybe it doesn't like all the percentages. We're gonna have to look now. I wish there was a search button actually. Here's that's magnesium. If anybody sees manganese, I'm trying to kind of scroll. Oh, it's still yellow. So that's not proving my case here. But anyway, we just want to make sure that we're working with everything, because all of these items are really important to our auric field and to make sure that our cells are getting all the nutrients that it needs. So I always like to go and start with putting it on 1 minute. So here's my timer up above, and to select all, and I'll run all of these frequencies for 1 minute. Okay, so if you look down at the bottom, it tells us that the average percent rectification is 27%. Now the Genius is getting that number from the three percentages right above. So those three percentages are what gives us the average percent rectification. I always recommend that you look at the low percentage here, which is 22, and the high, and you don't want the range between the low and the high to really be above 20%, or just the range 20, because it becomes less stable. So any energies coming in might throw it out of balance easier. So I always like to have these three numbers in a tighter range, the better. Now this is a demo, so we're not necessarily gonna work until we get this to a number above 40%. But what I would do here is we could, because it's not above 40%. So the Genius, anything above 40%, it's going to give you a little pop-up and says excellent. Anything below 40%, I would say any change, positive change is good, but between 20 and 40% would be considered a good rectification. Anything above that would be excellent. I would like to try to get this a little bit higher. Sometimes the body likes to work with fewer frequencies, so you might want to remove the mediums and then just work with the highs and the lows. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to move the timer down to 0 minutes. This way I can just work with it for a few seconds, and we can see if we can get this number higher. Okay, so here you can see we had a 75% rectification. That is excellent. And if you even want to look at the harmony, alignment, and energy flow, that is really tight and stable. So I'm really, really happy with that. You could rescan from here and see how it all shakes out, but we're not going to run it again from here just because that was a really great rectification. So what I would do next is now I would go back to your system overview page, and we can hit the arrow for the main hold tray, and we can clear out all these items here. Okay. And then my step 2, and we'll do the step 2 really quickly, is, oops, I'm not on the main whole page, is to go to the general overview. Now, the difference between the general overview and the system overview is that the general overview looks at all the line items and it takes everything out of its categories and libraries. So you will see everything that is on the system overview page in like one list, but it also adds in, should you have any custom libraries, it will also add those in too. So let's just go there right now. Okay, so I like to look at it from the low numbers first, since these are going to be our biggest underlying causes or root cause for a lot of the things that are going on. So what I would do here is there are going to be a lot. I have over 3,000 libraries, and there's probably over 80,000 line items if we were to look at add them all together. So I'm going to add the bottom 50 blues. Okay, and I'm also going to add the top 50 reds. I'm adding both the blues and the reds together because this is a demo and I'm trying to work quickly, but you might just want to keep it separate and work with blues and reds separately. I'm now going to click this button up top where I can remove all my libraries. And now I'm going to add in my blue items. And these are going to be, now that my libraries are removed, these are just all the items from the system overview page. So this is also a really great way how to work with all of those items quickly. So I've added all the reds and all the blues. Now it does put us over like that 200, 250 items, but because this is a demo and we're just going to work very quickly with it, I'm going to leave them in. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and use the same philosophy that I use. I always start with 1 minute, and I'm going to select all. and I'm going to hit play. Okay, so here you can see that the average percent rectification is lower. It's at 23%. So for me, again, I would run this again. It may be that it's too many frequencies to work with. So I'm going to, we can just start by removing the mediums and see if that's enough. So I'll put the timer down to 0 and we'll run just the highs and the lows for 30 seconds and see how Claire does with that.
Can you take a look at Elise's question?
Yes. So, well, great, excellent. We're at 57%. And again, the range here is well within that 20, so I'm happy with that. So now to get to Elise's question, what if you only want to work with certain libraries for a session? Not a problem at all. You can just go into the custom library section and work with them. My philosophy and how I work is I always do these first 2 sessions first, regardless of what libraries you want to work with for your client at that particular time. That's how I work. It doesn't mean you can't do things differently. I'm just telling you what I found that works best for me. And I've also found that using this step 1 and step 2 before I even address any of my clients' specific symptoms, that often some of their symptoms seem to be better just after these 2 these steps alone. So I hope that answers your question. Claire, we didn't really go over what was bothering you today. So just because the focus right now is going to be on the NeuroVIZR, I just always want like going over these first 2 steps. So I'm going to go back now to, this is the system overview page. So now let's say we are someone that owns the NeuroVIZR, and let me just show you what it looks like really quick. This is what the LED portion of it looks like, and it magnetically attaches really easily. So it sits on and it's strong like that. And then you have a little Velcro, so you can fit it on your head like this and adjust the Velcro. There is a little, it's hard to show it, but this is where you would charge your device. And then this is the button that you press to turn it on. And you could kind of see the lights just came on. I don't know if you could see it, but you could kind of see it through here that it's on. So the next thing that you would do, it's actually a really easy setup, is you can go in and hit there's an app for the NeuroVIZR. You can hit that. And once you're there, there is like a little button up top that shows that it wasn't connected. Once you hit this, It gives you like an accept or don't show again warning. Once you hit accept, now you can see the device is connected because there's no like line going through it. So you can see different things here in the on the home screen. But if you go to library, it looks a little bit different. They changed some of these icons, but this is what it would look like. Now, for someone that doesn't have the Genius, they basically would choose whatever they feel they want to work on. They don't really have any way of knowing. It's just kind of intuitively or whatever they want to work on. There's several different categories in here. But for those who have a Genius, a really neat thing that was done here is you can go to the back office and you go down to accessories and you can activate the NeuroVIZR. I've already activated it. If it's your first time, it will ask you for, whoops, hold on guys, my laptop's about to die. It will ask you for a code to put in and you put that code in and then you're good to go after that. So now you can see it says begin analysis. So I'm just going to hit begin analysis. Okay, and we can see Claire getting all ready. So thanks, Claire. Okay, so it has everything opened up here. So I'm just gonna close all these panels so you can see it a little differently. Okay, so when you're looking at the different categories, so let me just. So all the category names match all the categories that you're seeing on the Genius right now. Now, the Genius is just going to give you the frequencies of the archetype encoding. It's not matching any it's different technologies. So we're just working with the Genius as we would normally with any other library that you purchased or that you might create. But so what the Genius is suggesting is the category of brain optimizer, which actually makes a lot of sense. Claire, don't you think that makes a lot of sense for you, that that's showing up as what you would need?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now that's just the main category, right? So I'm just looking on my phone right here. Sorry. Better sleep. Brain optimizer. Looks like they changed the words slightly, guys.
Yeah. Brain entrainment.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. All right, well, we'll have to mention that to Ryan because, like I said, they must have just updated the NeuroVIZR app. So, these two things are going to have to be in sync together. So, nope, I don't think it's brain entrainment. Hold on.
Brain gym.
Nope. It's habit rewiring, I believe.
Okay.
I think. Brain.
Yes.
Or maybe not.
The,
No.
yeah, habit rewiring has got the dehabituate low.
Yeah, but it's not.
And it's got dehabituate high rather than.
Sorry, guys.
Dehabituate delta. So those are brain waves. So is it brain and entrainment.
Well, because here, if we close,
No, it's not the.
so it's only going to have two different brain gym. Hey guys, obviously I haven't worked with this frequently enough.
Thinking of language.
Well, I guess it's not microdose, which is now neurodose, just FYI. It's not sleep, it's not meditation, it's not neuro athletics, it's not the lucid music, that's something not even here. Mind states. Okay, we have brain gym.
Should we go to meditation?
No, let's just it's just not going to be this. Let's just go under maybe, let's just look at it again, the habit rewiring. Let's do the GABA one. Gamma. Do you see it? It's under habit rewiring. And I guess this is it really, the high wiring. And it has the dehabituate gamma. You see it?
Yes.
Okay. So you hit that, and I'm going to put this into the quick zap, and we're not going to run it for the full cycle. So I'm just going to run it, let's just say for 1 minute. Okay. You could, when you hit yours, you could, adjust the time, I think. But I'm just going to hit play, and you can see what's happening. There's like, there's a little intro. Oh, you can see Claire is rocking and rolling. Now, when you use this, make sure your eyes are closed, guys. I'm gonna turn mine off because, oh, and I didn't hit play here. Okay. Okay, so you didn't have the full session there, but that just gives you an idea on how you can run it with the NeuroVIZR. And you can just kind of go through. Sorry that the way the new app, they updated the NeuroVIZR app, and isn't exactly in sync with how it's set up on the Genius. Ryan will probably need to update that. So anyhow, I don't know, Claire, if you notice any kind of a difference when the Genius is running versus, just taking in the sensory. I know that when I've used the NeuroVIZR, it's really cool because it kind of looks to me, I mean, I'm guessing that everybody sees something different, right? The way you see it, but it's kind of like a kaleidoscope of different colors and you see different patterns and everything. And even though it's just like a white light that's actually hitting your eyes, for me, when my eyelids are closed, I'm seeing like a kaleidoscope in all different colors. So it is really, it is kind of cool. I don't know, there's no way to really tell, right, if when you're running the Genius with these frequencies, if it changes the way you see those colors or not, and how it's interacting with you. But hopefully you had a good experience with that, Claire. So we can just go back now and and we can just look after we ran those few things. We can okay, so you can see the color that beige is coming up a little bit. We would still want to work on that. It is a little paler and darker in there. And maybe you're a little bit less grounded, but maybe just using those lights and everything kind of ungrounded you. I could see how that could kind of happen. I would go out and hug a tree or do something. We have a few minutes left, so I'm just going to, Claire, run for you. Some grounding frequencies. Let's clear these out. Okay, and we can run it for 1 minute. So great. So you had excellent here. Again, it's 59% and it's within that 20 range. So let's just go and see. Whoops. Also, how is that sound? Is it different since I set it to stereo? Does it sound okay?
I think I like mono best.
Hey, so here we just ran and that looks much better after running some crystals in there for you. It's still a little funky out here, but what's close to you looks much better. And that looks much better too. So you're definitely way more grounded now than you were before. So good job, Claire. Does anybody have any other questions before we end today's session? How are you feeling, Claire?
Good, actually. There's a bit of feedback. So, yeah.
Good. I know it's hard to tell now because you use two things. You use the NeuroVIZR and we ran some frequencies, but as long as you're feeling better, that's all that we care about. And this is a really neat device. This is the NR9, 9 because there are 9 lights. I think that there is another version coming out, the NR15, which would have more lights, obviously. But this is the one that I'm working with. So, and I love it. So anyway, if anybody has any questions, you can always email me. And it was so good to have everybody here. So thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we will see you all back here again in a month, the first Thursday of March at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, and 7 p.m. UK time. So thanks again, everybody. And Claire, thanks so much for being a volunteer. I really appreciate it. And we'll see everybody soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, Denise. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.